Jude Duarte's life was basically normal, if normal means eating fish sticks in a 90s suburban living room, while her twin sister Taryn hogs the remote and her older half-sister Vivi bosses her around. Then the front door opened, and a man walked in who looked like he'd stepped straight out of a bloody fairy tale. Red eyes, curved sword, the kind of guy you just know could kill you without even spilling his drink. This is Maddox. He's Vivi's real dad, born when their mom ran off with a Faerie war general. Later, mom ditched Maddox too, faked her own death, and settled down with a mortal man. That mortal man, Jude and Taryn's dad. Jude's dad tries the heroic, you shall not pass move with an axe. It goes about as well as you'd expect when your opponent has centuries of combat experience. 2 swings later, both parents are dead. Maddox doesn't apologize, he just says, pack your things, we're going to Faerie. On to the land of Elfhame. Gorgeous, dangerous, full of creatures who smile with teeth too sharp and flowers that might bite back. 10 years later, Jude is 17, still human, and absolutely sick of being treated like she's fragile china in a land full of diamond swords. Maddox raised her with combat training and war stories, but also with the lingering fact that he murdered her parents. Her twin Taryn, she's all about blending in. Vivi, she hates fairies so much she spends as much time in the mortal world as possible. Jude wants more. She wants to be a knight in the high court, not some mortal charity case in a fancy dress. Only problem? Every pureblood fairy at school would love to see her fail, especially Prince Cardan, the High King's youngest son. Cardan has beauty, a tail, and a cruelty that makes knives look polite. When a tournament comes up that could get her notice, Maddox says she's not ready. Jude hears, prove me wrong. She signs up anyway, which means she's about to get Cardan's full attention. Cardan doesn't just dislike Jude, he treats her like a personal hobby. The moment he hears she's entering the tournament, the bullying kicks into high gear. One morning, he and his merry band of sadists grab Jude and Taryn, drag them to a river, and toss them in like it's open season on mortals. Nixies, water monsters with a taste for drowning, circle below. Jude tries to keep Taryn calm, but Cardan ups the stakes. He tells Taryn he'll leave her alone if she promises never to side with Jude again. Back in Elfhame, the tournament arrives. Jude fights like she's got nothing left to lose, and wins. It gets the attention of Prince Dane, Cardan's older brother, who's rumored to be the next High King. Instead of knighting her, Dane makes her an offer, become his spy. In return, he'll place an enchantment on her so she can resist any magic. A mortal immune to glamour? That's like walking through a battlefield wearing full armor while everyone else is in paper shirts. Jude says yes, of course. First mission, infiltrate Hollow Hall, Balakin's estate, Dane's older, nastier brother, and find out what he's plotting. Inside, she sees rows of enchanted human servants and overhears Balakin and Cardan. Balakin beats Cardan bloody, and for the first time, Jude feels something unexpected, pity. She slips out with stolen intel, a letter hinting at a poison plot, and delivers it to Dane. He's pleased. The Court of Shadows welcomes her in. The roach, the ghost, the bomb. Her real training begins, and while Jude's sharpening her knives in the dark, someone else is about to walk into her life with a smile too dangerous to trust. Locay shows up like a walking red flag in a velvet jacket, fox face, charming, and in Cardan's inner circle, which is basically the worst people you know club. Every warning light in Jude's brain should be flashing, but instead it's just playing the "Maybe He Likes Me" song on repeat. Between stolen walks and flirty one-liners, Jude's still doing the double life thing. Student by day, rookie spy by night. The Court of Shadows, roach, ghost, bomb, are teaching her all the essentials: how to drink poison for fun, pick a lock in under a minute, and sprint across rooftops without dying. Truly the stuff you put on a resume. Then, fate literally drops a clue in her lap. A mechanical golden acorn hidden in one of Locke's mother's old dresses. Inside is a mysterious little message from dead mom Liriope. Jude doesn't know what it means yet, but her gut says, keep digging, and also, maybe don't tell the guy you're kissing that his mom's secret message is now in your pocket. Her next mission? Break into Hollow Hall again. This time she finds Sophie, a mortal girl, under. Jude decides to pull a hero move and get her out. But Sophie, freshly unglamored, takes one look at the world, decides nah, fills her pockets with rocks, and dives into the ocean. Jude is left soaked, shivering, and holding the world's most depressing victory. When she gets back, Dane's not like, oh wow, you tried your best. Nope. He makes her stab her own hand to prove her loyalty. No magic compulsion, just good old-fashioned hurt yourself for me. She does it. That night, Valerian breaks into her room to try and kill her. Jude responds by stabbing him first, and that's the thing about killing people. You get faster at it the second time. She buries the body before breakfast. Next day, Jude and the ghost get sent to take out a spy during Coronation setup. She nails the shot, then she sees the body. It's one of Maddox's spies. Translation, stepdad and Belican are playing on the same team. Coronation Day arrives, and it's all glitter, silk, and the quiet knowledge that someone's about to get murdered. Jude spots Sophie, yes, the drowned girl, now alive and looking like an undersea makeover went horribly right. Loke playing weird emotional mind games, and across the room, Taryn's giving him the future husband eyes. Jude's blood pressure spikes. Just as Cardan cuts into dance, tail swishing, smile sharp enough to draw blood, moments before Belican makes his move. Belican doesn't just interrupt the coronation, he hijacks it like it's an open mic night. 1 second, the High King is about to crown Dane. The next, Belican is monologuing about how he should be king, sword in hand. The room collectively goes, wait, what? Before he stabs one of his sisters right there on the stage, blood everywhere. Jude's barely had time to process the, wow, that's public part before she notices something worse. Maddox isn't shocked. In fact, he looks like a man watching his favorite sports team score. Then he personally helps Belican kill Dane. The royal massacre continues. The High King refuses to name Belican as his heir, so Belican kills him too. Siblings are dropping left and right, some murdered, some killing themselves rather than crown him. By the end, the only one left with the power to crown Belican is Cardan, except Cardan's vanished. Jude's survival instincts kick in. She drops under a banquet table like the world's most overdressed cockroach. A hand grabs her ankle, drunken Cardan, wearing a mask and swaying like he's at the world's worst frat party. They crawl through the chaos together, dodging blades, bodies, and enough spilled wine to drown a goat. Once they're outside, Jude spins on him with her sword. This is the guy who's made her life hell for years, and now he's leverage. She drags him back to the Court of Shadows and ties him to a chair. The other spies, Roach, Ghost, Bomb, are debating whether to kill him or ransom him. Cardan's just sitting there, dripping sarcasm and looking way too comfortable for someone in ropes. Jude learned something interesting during all this. Cardan hated Dane almost as much as she did, and Loke's dead mom? Yeah, she was murdered because of royal drama involving Cardan's family. Jude files it away for later. Blackmail material is blackmail material. But first, she's got a decision to make. What's Cardan worth? To Belican? To Maddox? To her? Back at Maddox, Jude barely makes it through the front door before Taryn delivers her own little bomb. Loke's her fiancé. Cue sister sword fight, courtesy of all the bottled up betrayal in the universe. Vivi has to break it up with magic, and Maddox, of all people, plays referee. Then, in Oriana's rooms, Jude spots another golden acorn, identical to Loke's mom's. One message later, she knows, Oak isn't Oriana and Maddox's son. He's Dane's, the rightful heir to the throne. Which means the bloodbath isn't over. It's just changed targets. So, to recap, Jude's holding Cardan hostage, her twin sister is engaged to the guy Jude was making out with, and now she's discovered her little brother Oak is actually the secret royal heir. This family doesn't need therapy, they need an exorcism. The Loke situation? That explodes in a spectacularly sword-clanging way. Jude confronts Taryn, Taryn throws it back in her face, and in seconds they're dueling like two women who've been bottling things up since birth. It's all steel, snarls, and years of "Mom always liked you best" in blade form. Vivi steps in, uses magic to freeze Taryn mid-fight, and, plot twist, Jude realizes the glamour doesn't work on her. Even with Dane dead, his protection spell is still holding. Jude files that under useful things for world domination. Maddox finally wanders in like, what's all this then? And in the least fatherly moment ever, tells Taryn Loke's not worthy of either of them, but sure, go ahead and marry him. Jude's still fuming, but she lets it drop. For now. The real prize is Oak. That golden acorn message from Loke's mom, it spills the whole story. Liriope was Dane's consort, got pregnant, was murdered before Oak was born, and Oriana cut the baby out of her to save him. Maddox been raising him as his own ever since, while keeping his true parentage secret. Jude's brain does the political math instantly. Oak is the only person who can legitimately take the crown from Balakin, which means the kid is either Faerie's salvation or the most tempting assassination target in the kingdom. She's not about to let Maddox be the one holding that power, which is why she heads straight back to Cardan, still tied up in the Court of Shadows, ready to make him an offer he's not going to like, because her plan to save Oak starts with making a prince kneel. Cardan swears the oath, 1 year and 1 day of service to Jude. The smirk he gives while doing it says he thinks he's still in control. Spoiler, he's not. With Cardan magically bound, Jude goes ruler shopping. She hits up other courts, pitching Oak as the next High King without actually saying Oak's name. Some are intrigued, some are nervous, and Jude's fine with either. Fear is still leverage. But the clock's ticking. Balakin's holding a big banquet, ready to force Cardan to crown him. Jude's got one shot to flip the game. She rolls in a hollow hall, dressed for murder and diplomacy in equal measure. Maddox there, smiling like a proud dad who has no idea his daughter poisoned both wine glasses on the table. He drinks, Jude drinks, he collapses. She doesn't. Immunity training, baby. With Maddox snoozing on the floor, the roach and ghost slip inside. Explosions rock the hall. Balakin's reaching for the crown. The crowd's in chaos, and Jude's slipping through it like she owns the place, because after tonight, she will. The ghost grabs the crown, and in the heat of the confusion, tosses it to Taryn. Whoops, the twin mix-up is fixed fast, but Jude's already moving. She gets Oak into position. Everyone's expecting Oak to crown Cardan, because that's Jude's stated plan. Cardan as regent, Oak safe in the mortal world until he's grown. But when the moment comes, Oak hesitates, looks at Jude, and then puts the crown on Cardan's head. Gasps, outrage. A few Fae probably faint dramatically. Jude just stands there smiling like she planned it all, which she did. Cardan's on the throne, Oak's out of danger, and Jude's the one holding the leash. For 1 year and 1 day, the High King of Elfhame is hers to command. Balakin's been humiliated, Maddox's been sidelined, Oak's safe with Vivi in the mortal world, and Jude's exactly where she's always wanted to be. In the center of power, playing a game no one realized she'd already won. But here's the thing about power. Once you've got it, everyone wants to take it from you.